All right, so some thoughts about those who are using PowerPoint for presentations. Now, just let's right off the table, just push the educators aside who are going to throw a fit because you're using PowerPoint. We should do hands-on, we should do group stuff. Okay, look, that's different. If you have a classroom, mandatory attendance and whatnot. I'm talking about if you're doing a presentation and it's you and a group of people who have been working all day and you got 3 or 4 hours to be interesting and to teach some stuff or at least help them present things that help them to think. That's what we have. We have PowerPoint. So let's use it effectively. So first thing, don't put your notes on the screen. Don't put your notes on the screen. I've seen many slides, PowerPoint slides, and there's like a novel on the screen. And so nobody can read it. It's there because they were your thoughts when you put the slide together, and that's your notes. So as you're saying something, put something on the screen behind you that illustrates what you're saying in a very basic, simple way. There should be a relationship to what you're saying to what's behind you. If there's not, blank out the screen. Now, put as few words on the screen and hopefully try if you can. You can't always do this, but have one thought per slide. You have a thought or a concept. It's illustrated on the screen. You're explaining it. You're done. Don't leave it on the screen. Move on or blank out the screen. I've seen guys talk for 45 minutes with nonsense behind them on the screen. So let's not do that. It doesn't work. You may feel great about it, but the people listening to you are not getting anything out of it unless they're ignoring what's behind you on the screen, in which case just remove it. Use colors that work. I have seen light green backgrounds or a whole screen, kind of a light green background mixed with a little bit of white in a wave, and then gold text because the person liked gold text and they thought it was pretty. And I get that. But the objective is to have the people receiving your presentation be able to actually read it when you have words that you want read. So don't make your screen pretty on your monitor as you're looking at it. Think of what it's going to look like when you're projecting it and people are sitting 30 feet away. Unless you don't want them to learn anything, then go ahead and make it pretty for what you think is exciting. Avoid chaotic images. If you just, whatever you have created, project it on a screen and step back about 30 feet and look at it and ask yourself, what does it look like? If it's chaotic, it could look like a big blob. And so you're trying to teach a concept or something and there's a big blob behind you that's what people perceive. That doesn't work. So try to avoid chaotic, try to avoid over artistic, and use images that are crisp, clean, easily and immediately recognized for what they are. Except in cases where you have something complicated, where you got to show the whole thing and break it down. But in that case, slow way down, point everything out. Make sure that what you're trying to say is understood. Avoid big blobs. Okay, so I guess I'll put it that way. If you have, for instance, Snap-on screens are often used in a class, and that's great. But you can, with your Snap-on, you can save your screen in one of two modes, the daylight mode or the nighttime mode. And so if you use the one that's all black with a little bit of very, very thin white text, nobody can read it. And if you step back 10, 20, 30 feet, it's just a big square blob on the screen while you're talking. So don't do that. If you've already got images done that you now realize you want to change, learn to use some simple software. I have 3 that I use, 4 actually that I use. And you can take that black blob image, invert it, and now you have a white background with black text. And now what it is you were trying to convey is now understandable. What you're saying fits what they can see on the screen. So just some thoughts. Most people who are involved in training, unfortunately, they just are sure that everything that they are doing is perfect. And besides, I'm doing all this for you guys, so it is what it is. Okay, you can do that. But if you want to be understood, if you want people to learn stuff, then you really need to think about design and in the experience you are putting people through. Now, I am saying this as one who has had a lot of instruction and also one who has made pretty much all the mistakes. So I'm not, lecturing you because, I know all these things because I'm brilliant. No, I know a lot of this stuff because I did the opposite, and then I got to see the result. And usually to see the result, you have to see somebody else presenting what you created. And that's a humbling experience because I've been able to do that a number of times. It's like, oh my gosh, that was what I just did. What I gave the guy was really stupid. It didn't work. So, anyway, if you actually want to communicate instead of just, be the guy in the front of the room talking, telling stories, if you actually want to communicate, there's a science behind all of this. And I would suggest that you would look into it. So, with that, later.